right, everybody, let's try this. I'm gonna have to readjust this. So sorry, didn't get the live working correctly. My bad. Someday I'll figure that stuff out. I'm just readjusting my tripod here so that I can put it close enough to be able to read the comments. So I know the video is going a little bit stupid right now. Probably going to end up having to do a bunch of test lives on YouTube to get my, there we go, that's better, get my video feed and audio feed, everything working together. It seems like every time I get it going, either the audio's not working or the video's not working. It's nuts. There you are, Dwayne says. Yes, sir, here I am. Good morning. Welcome to the Saturday morning Rise and Shine, which usually, I guess everyone can hear me okay? Or no? Kenny, Dwayne, Larry, Rick. Good to see everybody in here. OC Redhead. Nice. Good to have you in here. Let me turn my volume up, make sure it's up all the way. Okay, volume's up all the way. Audio, video, good. Thank you. Thank you, Jeffrey. Good. Okay, so this is working all right. I can close all this other crap out on the screen up here. Now that won't distract me. So how's everybody doing? I think I can take this off too. This is not the mic that's being used. Hope everyone had a great week. I had a great week, as always. Gordon Shinerman, Sir Dig Doug, Stuart Powell, nice to see y'all in here. The Build a Still logo is backwards since I'm using my phone. Nice, awesome. So I did get word from our folks who are cutting the copper for us, and I've got an ETA of the first 3 kits. And the first 3 kits are the ones I'm going to use to do the tutorials and make the build guide for Build a Still. So got this, that's the Build a Still right there, completed one. And that's all the parts stuff that you get when you order the Build a Still. And I'm creating an entire video series, how-to video series on how to put it together, how to assemble it, how to solder it. So the first 3 stills that are coming in, that's what I'm going to use those to build all of those tutorial videos. And they told me, I got an email from them yesterday that I'll be getting those on the 16th. So that only gives me like 2 or 3 weeks to make all the videos, because then the rest of the stills will come in, the stills that you guys have purchased, and will get shipped out. And I've got to have the video series done before they ship out, obviously. There are, I think, 8 or 9 steel kits left that you can buy. We started with 20, and 11 or 12 of them have already been sold. So there's that. If y'all are interested. Cool little kit, I think. Nobody gave it like Popcorn Sharky. All right, Danny. Richard. Hello. Hi, Richard. So I was also, as a lot of you know who are in school, these lives, we do these lives every morning, but Monday through Friday, they're over in the ABV Society on the school platform. They're a little more private. It's kind of, I don't know, I like them better. But for everybody over there, you've known yesterday I was going to get my license. Haven't had a legitimate driver's license for, I don't know how long it's been, honestly, 15 years, 20 years. Um, Hold on. Excited for mine. I know there were some issues on ordering day, but I got my order number, so hoping it worked out. Hell yeah. Yeah, the website was broken, got that fixed, so that's not an issue anymore. But anyway, so yesterday was the day for me to go take my final driving test. I took the written test like 2, 3 weeks ago because they made me, I had to retest because it's been so long since I had a driver's license, and got my driver's test done yesterday. I was very excited. Passed. They said, okay, go to the revenue office and get your license. Talking about, that's where you have to go to get the actual physical license. And it turned out to be an all day cluster mess. It was a mess. Didn't get my license. Got there and they said I wasn't allowed to have one, which seemed wild because I've jumped through all the hoops. I paid all my fines, uh, and there was nothing left for me to do except get the license. But apparently, there's something in place that says I can't get my license until August 25th. And went round and round with them for a while. Had a few people making phone calls for me and trying to get to the bottom of it because the biggest problem was the people at the revenue office had no idea why this hold was in place, because there are no fines or anything. There's no outstanding hoops for me to jump through. So it's been kind of crazy. And needless to say, spent basically all day on it yesterday and got nowhere. Gotta love government bureaucracy. Gotta love it. Because the frustrating part was nobody could really tell me what the problem was. It was just some kind of thing that was in the system that was not letting it happen, and nobody knew how to remove that barrier. So it was wild. So Monday, I got some other things I'm going to work on Monday. I spent many years of my life being sort of I'm going to use air quotes here, outlaw, just meaning that I was off the grid. I did not have bank accounts. I did not have driver's license. I didn't have any kind of identification. I was just kind of floating off out there in Neverland. And when I decided to introduce myself back into society and become a good, upstanding citizen, it's just been a nightmare trying to make that happen. And it Outlaw Cyrus, yeah, and it feels like they don't want me back in the fold. You know what I mean? Like they make it so difficult for me to come back in and say, hey, here I am, and I would like to be an upstanding citizen again. And feels like they don't want me to. I don't know. We're from the government and we're here to help. Yeah. Yeah. And I don't want to get into a whole deal about government and politics and all that kind of stuff you're not really supposed to talk about because I have some pretty radical views about it anyway. But yeah, there was one lady at the revenue office, and bless her heart, she was doing her damnedest. She was trying everything she could try, calling everybody she knew to call. And when you say, "Here, I'm with the government, I'm here to help," she really was there to help. She just did not have the ability to help. So the driver control system in Arkansas sucks. Yeah, it's that is the government agency that has this some kind of hold, and even the people that are in that agency that are like, yeah, we place this hold on it, but we don't. They couldn't tell me why it's actually there, and some of them were even telling me it shouldn't be there, and it was a whole wild ordeal. I mean, if I told you all the details, you probably wouldn't believe it. Like I was, it was crazy. Okay, here we go. Back to some moonshining. I'm struggling to find an aquarium heater that lasts longer than a few days. I've made two separate mashes and been through two aquarium heaters. I've had them. I'm not sure I've ever had one that didn't last more than 2 days. They do eventually stop working, but they last a while. I mean, I've had one that's probably 4 or 5 years old that's still working. So I don't know. Um, I do have a video on the channel about making a DIY fermenter, a heated fermenter. And I believe I have the link to the fermenter that I used. I made this video years ago. I still have the aquarium heater and it's still working. So I believe I have a link to the specific one I bought in that video. I don't have a way to like share it with you right now. But what's happened? Just living. What's happening? Like, is it just like the power quits coming on, or you can't adjust the temperature? What is it that's breaking with them? Sigh, the real life Billy the Kid. I mean, I wouldn't go that far. I haven't killed anyone. Jump through those hoops. No matter how many hoops you have to jump. Yeah, that's the Scott. That's it. I mean, you nailed it. It's like it really doesn't matter. Right or wrong doesn't matter. Logic doesn't matter. Like if the government agency says you have to do this, well, you just have to do that. Or you hire an attorney, which is actually something I'm considering. Actually, I think I might have to get an attorney involved to get this done. We forgive you, Si, even if they don't. Well, thank you. I have 20-gallon heater from Walmart. Lasted me 3 years so far. Yeah, I mean, I hate that your luck has been that you've had two that didn't work. It just hasn't been my experience. Austin, Texas in the house. Big Rex. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. It's a good video. I made one. Cool, man. Thank you, NFT. Some of those heaters, if they're vertical or if they lay horizontally, they will burn out faster. Some are designed to be in there at an angle for proper adjustment or adjustment of temperature. Yeah, I can see that. The ones I always use are the ones that just kind of hang down in it and they're vertical. Thank you, everyone. That helped with the wood mason jar lid stuff. I'll be ordering some soon, maybe. Have you spoke with Hillbilly Glass Barrels? Because there for a while he stopped making them, and I don't know if he's still selling them or not. It will last about 5 days before I have to buy another one. I'm making 30-gallon mash at a time. It just stops heating. Yeah, man. I wish I could tell you buy two heaters for 30 gallons. I mean, that's a thought. You could be just the the particular one kind that you're buying just may not be big enough to heat that much water, and maybe they're just burning out because they're never turning off. Maybe that's it. I don't really know. And if you had two, then that could solve that problem. Also, might need to make sure you've got the right wattage for the volume of liquid. Yeah, kind of along the same line there. Good morning from the very snowy and very cold Northeast. Well, Bill, good to see you in here. You're buying a complete submersible heater, correct? Yeah, some of them also, yeah, that's a good point to bring up because some of them are not meant to go all the way in, submersed into the water. Mad Mac is here, everyone. Mad Mick, I'm sorry. Carl. I bought them at the pet store. They said it was for 100-gallon fish tank. Well, damn, that sounds big enough. Jesus. Just get a regular floor space heater with a thermostat. Put it in the room with your mash. I mean, that's also an option. Uh, Put it in a closet with a temperature controlled space heater, or a pantry or a utility room, something like that. I'll tell you what, we got some wooden crates that we made. Oh, I'll show you guys this because it is working uh, amazingly. There we go. So we got these wooden crates for free, and this is just a plywood door. It didn't have an opening. It came just like that. So it has an opening. Sorry, it just didn't have a door. So this is just a plywood door that we threw together real quick. Little hillbilly latch there, and a heat lamp. And I mean, I don't know what temperature it is in here right now, but it feels like it's probably 70 something. Here's a thermometer laying here. What does that say? Yeah, it's like 75 degrees in here, and it's just from that heat lamp. It's, no insulation. It does have plastic on the walls and floors and ceiling, which is how it came. We didn't add that, but it's working just fine. Now that said, we also, I keep this space, when we're not here, I keep it at 55 degrees. So it never gets colder than 55 degrees in this space. Pardon me. Let's see, what am I missing here? I missed some, you can look at barrel band heater. They're made for, yeah. So it's like a belt that goes around a barrel and heats it from the outside in. Iron Duke's from England and works with barley. Tell us about barley in a sour mash. Oh yeah, Scott. So Scott's talking about, he had made a comment on a video that a YouTube guy put out. I'm not familiar with him. I haven't seen any of his videos until Scott shared the video, but he was doing sour mash with barley, and Scott was just trying to give him some advice, like, hey, barley's not a great one to do sour mash with. But anyway, the guy was like, I'm gonna do it my way. It was he had an interesting response to Scott's advice, and of course, I'm kind of along. I like to learn things on my own. Like, I will take advice. For example, the advice that the Iron Duke, who's in the chat, gave me when I was putting together the All-American malt whiskey kit. He was like, be sure and not ferment that on the grain, because I do almost all my other ferments, I ferment on the grain. And he warned me and said, don't do the ferment on the grain, because barley does not do well in a ferment. So pull it off the grain, then do your ferment. And I just took his advice. I've never done it. I've never fermented a single malt or a malt whiskey on the grain, and I probably never will, simply just because the Duke said don't do that, and I know that the Duke does a lot of malt whiskeys, and so I'm just going to take his advice. Now, on most things in my life, I just have to learn it on my own, and it seemed like this guy in that video, he's just got to learn it for himself. And then, there's nothing really wrong with that. Once you learn it for yourself, then you know it. Like me taking the Duke's advice, I only know it because he said so, and I trust that he said so is correct, and so that's the only reason I know it. If I did it myself and found out, oh, Duke was right, well, then I know it. You know what I mean? The mash box is my favorite room in the shop. Sure does smell good. That would be a beautiful grow room. Yeah, it certainly would make a good grow room. What are we talking about? Is he in the room? He is in the room, Bill. What are we talking about? The mesh. Iowa free thinker. Good to see you, brother. Sometimes the school of hard knocks is how they learn. I mean, that's how I learn most stuff. I'll be honest. I just kind of have to learn it for myself. I have to really trust your advice to just not try something on my own that I think might work when someone says, don't try that. I mean, in some ways, I don't know. I get there's more than one way to look at life, I guess. No hard feelings. Glad he joined us this morning. Yeah, I mean, if he's in, jump in here if you're in the video. If we are talking about the video that you made. Oh, Bill is Mad Mick. Oh, okay. So Mad Mick is the guy that was doing the video, making the sour mash with the barley. Okay, now I understand everything. I'm looking at these comments going, what's going on? Okay, so yeah, Mad Mick. I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing it the way you're doing it. I think, like I said, that's how I got to learn too, my brother. Bill McGurr, that's me. Well, thanks for jumping in, man. Yeah, I watched that video yesterday. You were doing the sour mash. You were actually doing a stripping run while you made the mash. Is that right? Am I thinking of the correct video? Yeah. So everybody, jump over there to Mad Mick's channel and give him a follow over there. He is a Yankee. Not going to hold that against you. I don't remember if you said where you were, but your voice sounded like you're definitely in the Northeast. Love how unapologetic you are. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Hey, this is who I am. This is how I roll. That's right. And I think you even said that in the video. It's how I rock and roll. How does a thumper work when I use it? The proof is really high and take a lot longer to make a run, and I get more liquor, but when I don't use a thumper, it comes off around 120. Okay, yeah. So great question. Very really common question. So the thumper is actually a second distillation that's happening. So you've got the distillation that happens in your pot. Right, this still doesn't have a thumper, but you've got your distillation that comes here, and then if the line arm comes over into a thumper, then you have another distillation that's happening over there. And that's why you get a higher proof, because it's going to bump the proof up, because the proof that you're getting out of your still depends on two main things, and a third that is not so main. So the one main thing is the amount of reflux or distillation that's happening. So if you have like a tall column still, like if this still had a real tall column, it would have more passive reflux, the proof would go up. A bubble plate, a deflagmator, those create either multiple distillations, like a double plate is actually another distillation, and a deflagmator is another forced reflux. All of that stuff will increase your proof. And so when you have a thumper, what is in the thumper, before it starts distilling again for the second time, it has to heat up, and the proof is going to be higher because you're filling the thumper with something that, say, is 120 proof, and then it's going to come out of the thumper at a higher proof because the ABV in the thumper is higher. And then the ABV that's in your pot will affect the proof that comes out. even if you don't have a thumper, and then how fast you run your still will also affect the proof. Now, when you said, if I read your comment right, you get more liquor. That's a misunderstanding. You're not getting any more liquor because all the liquor that you can make is in the pot. When you pour it in here as a wash, there's only a certain amount of alcohol in there. And so when you say you get more liquor, it feels that way because if you're running a thumper or if you're running bubble plates or it seems like you're not hitting the tails as quickly. And so you will have a higher proof for a longer period of time with less volume. You would notice if you man, I'm not good at explaining that. Well, the point is, all the amount of liquor you can ever make is in the pot already. So if you're getting more when you use a thumper, unless you're adding more liquor in the thumper when you start, then you'll be adding to it. But it's all in how you're running the still and the proof, and when you're stopping and starting. When you're stopping your run. I'm a Yankee, but then I smartened up and moved to the South. NFT, Ray, that's funny. Mad Mick is an amazing person. Thank you, Bobby. Thumpers were originally invented to regulate temperature when the stills. Yeah, that's exactly correct. Thanks, Uncle Charlie. Thumpers were just used as temperature regulation back in the day. We don't need that anymore because we have controlled energy for the still, whether you're using gas or whether you're using electric. We can control the temperature fluctuations within the pot itself. So we don't use the thumper for that purpose anymore. Thumpers are now just used to clean up the liquor because you get a higher proof, or to try and infuse more flavor to get it to carry through. Fermentation in the Northeast isn't easy this time. I imagine it's not, man. When it gets colder, it gets harder to ferment. I imagine you just have to have a controlled environment, really. Fermentation is slow even in my house this time of year. Yeah, fermentation definitely slows down in the winter or in the cooler parts of the year. This is a pretty nice day right now. We hit like 78 degrees yesterday, I think, which is pretty crazy. Loved it. Randy from Steelworks and Brewing in the house. Good to see you, brother. I'm just skipping all the weather comments. I keep a space heater running in my mash room to keep it 78, 80. I turn it off when it gets hot, too hot. My mash gets done quick. Bobby, I'll give you a recommendation that is a great fix for that exact scenario, and it's not very expensive. Get an Inkbird controller, and I don't know if you're familiar with them or not, but an Inkbird is just you plug in your device, and then you control and then it has a temperature probe for the room, or you can put it actually in the mash, and then you plug your space heater up to it, and you can set it at a very specific temperature to kick on and off. So you could maintain a room temperature of say 75 if you wanted, and never have to like go in there and turn off. And those things are like 35 bucks. I've got a review video on the channel of the one I use, and well, I haven't used it in a while, but did a review video on how to set it, and great piece of equipment for like 35 bucks. Very inexpensive and very high quality. One of the, sometimes you run across products that the price point is good and the quality is high, and that's one of those things. But anyway, if you look in my video lists, there should be, if you just go to the channel and type in the search Inkbird, it'll probably come up. But there's a link in there that you can easily find it on Amazon. they make a lot of different models. It'll make it easier to find that specific model. Just think distillation is removing water, that increases proof. The thumper is just another way to remove water during a run. Yep. I believe it's supposed, okay. Ray uses a Inkbird controller for beer fermentation. Yeah. Randy says Inkbird works fantastic. It really is a great product for as inexpensive as it is. I will hook it up after this. Appreciate you. I do see on my electric bill, it did go up from me using the space heater a lot. Yeah. Cyrus, can you talk about school for everyone new this morning? Certainly, Scott. So their school, we have what's called the ABV Society. It's a private group over on school where we talk moonshine all day. These live streams that I'm doing Monday through Friday, they're on school. I don't even put them on YouTube. But we have a classroom over there. We have the old issues of the MASH. If you get the newsletter, say you sign up for the newsletter, you signed up last month, you start getting issues now. But we've been putting out issues for 3 years, I think. And so there's an archive of all, I want to say all of the past issues of the MASH, but they're not all there yet. I haven't finished putting them all in, but I've got a couple years worth there. Also, I can't even remember everything that is in the classroom, but there's lots of different things, lots of excellent information, lots of chat. They have a chat room. We do videos. We do a Thursday night kind of hangout live where people just join in and, sit and drink and shoot the shit. But it's a great place. There is, if you're interested in the school ABV Society, there's a link in the description of this live. And it's an invitation link. Just click on that link. It takes you right to it. It is $10 a month, which is, you're not going to miss $10 a month, but you can try it for free. You can, for a week, you can jump in there, check everything out, see what's all available, decide if you like it. After that week, you can, kick yourself out or you can stay. Where do I find this school at? Yeah, Bobby, just look in the description of this video. Or you can go to school.com, and it's SKOOL.com. And when you get to school.com, if you do a search for ABV Society, we'll pop right up. Been a while, but I made it. Morning. Well, good morning, Gibbs. Glad to see you in here. So for those of you that do not know, I will go over this one more time. The Build-A-Still kits are available. And this is the kit. So that's the finished still. That is the prototype, the first one I ever built. And this is what comes in the kit. So you get all the pieces. They are pre-rolled. They are beaded. Hem seams are in. All the holes that you need are already pre-drilled and ready. All you have to do is solder it together. This is a 5-gallon kit. Comes with a live big condenser. Here's a little prototype of just a little cup that Josh put together, and we're going to put some practice pieces in the kit. So if you're not real confident about, first of all, if you're not real confident about your soldering, part of the tutorial course is going to be how to solder, right? So plus we're going to have practice pieces in there for you to start kind of checking your skills for the soldering before you touch the steel itself. Now the solder and the flux, this does not come with the basic kit. The basic kit is just the copper pieces, and that's it. And then you can add on, because some people are already going to have the kind of solder that you need. Some people are already going to have a water-soluble flux. So on the base kit, you don't get that for those people who already have those kinds of supplies. If you don't have those kinds of supplies, or if you're worried you might buy the wrong solder or the wrong flux, You can, this is an add-on. Another add-on is a torch. Doesn't come with the kit, but if you want to add that on, you can. And I'll tell you, there's a huge difference. I have always, until I built this steel, I've always soldered with just a big tank, you know, like the yellow and blue tanks. You get it like Home Depot with a torch head on it. This thing, so much way better. A lot more control, and not just because this valve is a better control to control your flame. It's also got an auto light, but because you're not having to hold the weight of that tank, really makes a difference. So that's the kit. It's for sale on the website. I don't think I have a link in the description this morning. I was kind of in a rush getting this live going because the first live that I was setting up didn't work right. And so, but you can go to stillintheclear.com/shop, go to the stills category, and you'll see it there. It's for sale on the website. And it's a limited run too. So we have a company that is cutting the pieces for us. So we get pre-cut copper pieces, then we roll them and seam them and beat them and drill holes in them and all of that. But we only ordered 20. So 11 or 12 of them have already been sold. So there's still a few left if anyone's interested in going and checking that out. OC Red, I messed it up. Guarantee is a great addition too. Yeah, absolutely. So if you when you're putting this together, if you screw anything up, it can be your fault. You could run over it with your truck. Like if you screw anything up, we're just going to replace those parts that you screwed up. No questions asked other than, hey, send us back the copper and we're going to pay for the shipping for you to return the copper. And we're just going to send you another one. So you really I don't know of a better guarantee than that. Like, I don't know if anyone else, I mean, I guess we could pay you to build them. That would be better, but I promise that's never going to be an option. Map gas works good for solder. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I use propane. Map gas burns hotter, and absolutely it's good for soldering, but I find propane's works just as well. And most of the soldering tricks that I have learned, other than just fixing copper pipes and stuff like that over the years, but when I really kind of started trying to make my soldering better, I talked with Adam over at Copper Steel Co. because he and I are pretty good friends, and I can just call him up and get tips and ask advice. And he, if you hadn't seen his work, just trust me, he knows what the hell he's doing. And he uses propane. So I just kind of follow his advice because I know he knows what he's doing. I missed the beginning. Does the boiler come together and you're just soldering? No, you're soldering everything. So the boiler comes just like this. And then you solder this seam, you solder the bottom, you solder the cone in the top. And like I said, what's also not on this table, but is included with this kit, is a special clamp that will clamp this entire seam together with one clamp, so that you don't have to have 8 different size, what are those called? Vice clamps. So that's another thing that's included. Copper Steel Co. modern day masterpieces. Absolutely. We are going to have electric element options coming. Don't know when that's going to happen, but it should be pretty soon. This particular kit does not have a pre-drilled hole for a 2-inch ferrule for an element. That will be an option in the future. We will also sell the tri-clamps and the elements. We're just not there yet. And then as far as controllers, we're gonna go with Shine On controllers. They make a badass controller, and I don't want to try and compete with them because it's amazing. It's a great price. And either I'm just going to send you to them to buy them, or we're just going to put them on the website and you can buy them off of our website. $4.99 is the price of this kit. There is a special going on for these first 20. It's $4.79. So that's the deal for these first 20. Also for these first 20, and like I said, I don't remember how many, but there's 8 or 9 left. I'm going to be signing them and numbering them. So you'll be able to say, I got the first build of steel ever made, or I got the 8th build of steel ever made. I'm only going to number the first 20. And I'm also going to autograph them and that's with an engraver, so it'll be permanent. I'm not doing it with a marker or a pen. I want to build a miniature steel for desktop display one day. Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. Hell yeah. You can 3D print a mini steel, that's right. Someone jump over to the Still in the Clear website, go to the steels, and it should say the stock number, how many are left. Somebody jump over there and let us know how many of those steels we have left, because I don't know the count right now. If I was sitting over there in front of my computer, I could just do it myself. But I'm telling you, we have put this kit together and we've tried to make it. I don't think there's anybody else out there offering this kit as much with a kit as what you get with this one. And I'm not really talking about the style of the kit, because there are other kits, and some of them have thumpers and some of them have Liebigs, and there's different styles available out there. But I don't think anyone is offering everything that we're offering. A full video tutorial course to get you through it. The messed it up guarantee. If you screw something up, we just replace it. And a lot of stuff that I haven't even mentioned yet, that the first 20 people, that when they get their box, they're going to go, oh, we get this too? It's really cool. Some surprise stuff that's going to be in there. Plus practice pieces for you to practice your soldering before you touch the steel. I just don't think, and in this you get 4 months of the school ABV Society membership. So like I said, it's $10 a month, but if you buy the steel, you get 4 months free, and that gives you enough time to get your steel built, because all the tutorial videos are going to live over there. They're not going to be available on YouTube. And so when you buy the steel, you have to be a member of the ABV Society. But you may only want to be there to get your steel built. So you get 4 months free. Plus there's a chat room that we made for people who are building the steel. So you're going to be in a community of other people that are building this exact steel. So you'll be able to ask questions, post pictures. 9 left in stock. Thank you guys. $467. Yeah. You can be a shine star. Yeah, $467. Regular retail price is going to be $497. And I just don't think there's any kit out there you can get and still get all the support that we're trying to give you, because our goal is we want you to succeed. We don't want to just sell you a bunch of copper parts and go, oh, look at all this profit we made. Like, we really want you to build a steel. We want you to get into shining. We want you to get good at it. We want you to be proud of your steel. We want you to be a part of the hobby forever. And later on down the road, I'm going to sell you a bunch of grain and all kinds of other stuff. Like, from a business perspective, it just makes more sense for me to do everything I can to make sure you're successful building this kit. When I built mine, I just soldered a nut to the side, drilled a hole, and screwed in my element. That came with my lid, my PID. Okay. Just a thought for people. Yeah, absolutely, you could do that. Yeah, you can buy, and we'll eventually sell these on the website too. You can buy tri-clamp ferrules if you don't have the screw-in kind. If you have the element kind that is like the 2-inch sanitary fitting tri-clamp, you can buy just the ferrule and then drill the right size hole into the steel and weld that in too. And you can solder that. You can solder that in. What's up, you hooligans? Ah, look who's in the house. Look who's in the house. We got Zach over there on the Homebrew Center's channel. The weeded kit is fantastic. The beginner kit is worth the price point as well. Absolutely. Thank you, brother. I need an electric still. I don't use propane. It's a great deal, though. Are you going to make bigger ones? Yeah. 10 gallon and 15 gallon are going to be in production soon this year. Don't have an exact date for those yet. It's a very customizable steel. Great starting point to add to later. Yeah. We built it in such a way that at a later point, if you want to get, like right now, you've got the pot and the Liebig. But if you want to add a thumper later, it's going to be easy to do. If you want to add a column later, it's going to be easy to do. So the steel is going to be able to grow with your skill set, because as you get into distilling and you start learning new skills, you start realizing, oh, I need a column, or I want to make some vodka. I need some bubble plates. Like this still is going to be easy to customize into any of those configurations that you want. Been on some TikTok lives today. Did you go live yourself, or you just joined in some? I don't have TikTok. Should probably create. Yeah, you absolutely should, Ray. Yeah, it is a tank. I don't know if I pull this up and show it to you. Like, I don't know if you guys can tell how thick that is, but this is not flimsy copper. This is solid, 24 ounce. When doing my research for this kit, looking at a lot of steel builders out there, when you just order a steel from them, 24 ounce is an upgrade. Like most of the time it's 20 ounce or 22 ounce. So this thing, like Josh said, it's a tank. Set myself on fire a few years ago, just getting back into the hobby. Set yourself on fire. Damn it, brother. We missed you for a couple of weeks, Zach. Last couple of weeks, joined a couple. Okay, cool. I have to. What, Scott? I'd hate to think about you all morning. I have to install a battery in Mom's car in a minute. Thanks for the live chat, everyone. All right, Scott. See you later, brother. I think this live's about to be over anyway. We're 48 minutes into it. So, yeah, I think I'm going to jump off here. But keep in mind, guys, practice piece, little copper cup with the kit, 5-gallon copper steel. Looks amazing, easy to build, full support, guarantee that nobody else offers. If you mess it up, we just send you more pieces. I mean, it's that easy. So go check them out. steelintheclear.com/shop. Go down to the steel category and you can see these. Copper cup is cool for a test piece. Yeah, and I think we might even do 2 cups. So 2 cups in the kit, 2 practice pieces, and then you also get 2 cups. I think it's pretty awesome. All right, y'all. Thanks for jumping in. See y'all later. See you Monday morning in ABV Society on School.